What's happening, guys? It's time for the best football segment that we do all week long. It is the Football G-Spot with Jon Gruden and Greg Olsen.
I love football. Knock on wood if you're with me, everybody.
Can I finish my point?
All right, we got Greg and Coach now. I called this clip very late, so I don't know that we're going to be ready to play it. But if we can, I'd like to lead off with this clip from the past and get a quick reaction. Do we have it?
It's coming and gaining momentum, and you just feel them coming down the track. You know, and there's 3 teams that are going to win this week and keep gaining momentum, and it's going to be a powerful thing. I mean, think about this song, Fred. The train kept on running down the railroad track.
What? Not the words.
Ravens and Bears
The
are
Ravens.
on the attack.
The Ravens, the
Watch out for
Ravens, the Ravens.
the
And he
Bears,
is singing this
and the
Johnny
Houston
Cash
Texans
song,
because
and he's telling us to watch out for the Ravens this, the Ravens that. He's singing Johnny Cash. Coach, the Ravens are dead. The Patriots put a stake in them last night. They're gone. What are you singing about today, Coach?
Well, good morning, Dave. Thanks for that nice treatment. You know, the fumble by Derrick Henry, Dave, they had you on the ropes. That fumble was big. They were slicing you up like Swiss cheese. I give Drake May a lot of credit. He is a badass. And I shouldn't swear, but this guy is a great player. Stephon Diggs got it going, made some great catches. The Raven defense, though, is unlike any Raven defense in the last 15, 20 years. They're really hurting on that side of the ball. And Drake May, good God, he made him pay. And Josh McDaniels, give him credit. He used that extra offensive lineman. Did you see Mumford in there playing tight end, blasting people? It was impressive, man. If you got Drake May, you got a chance to go a long way and win it. That's how good he is.
In this AFC, Greg, we've been talking about it, and I know you do the NFC games, but wide open. I mean, wide open. You got the Patriots, got the Bills, the Jags came. Still, nobody's really talking about except Liam Cohen, who harps on it every day. What is your thoughts on the AFC? The Steelers, I know you've been saying it's wide open. Who are you most impressed with this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think just this weekend in particular, I think obviously what New England did last night was awesome. Coming back, 10-point deficit. Seems like we see it more and more often now. Fourth quarter, 2 scored leads. In past, those games feel like they're over this weekend. In 3 primetime games, we saw 3 teams come back double-digit, pretty late in the game. So I think what New England's doing, Drake, we've talked about him a lot all season long. Pretty remarkable turnaround. I actually have Jacksonville this upcoming weekend. I have Jacksonville at Indianapolis. So spent a little more time in that window yesterday watching Jacksonville just because I hadn't seen them all year and just putting some eyes on them. And to do that against a good Denver team who a lot of people were thinking they were the class of the AFC. And, we've said this now for multiple weeks, that AFC, all the teams are good. I think all the teams can beat each other. I'm not sure there's one team that stands apart, but I think that AFC playoff picture now with 2 weeks to go is pretty fascinating.
What about, we talked about this in the early segment, Bears, obviously spectacular game. I fell asleep. I'm getting at that age. I stayed up till the 2-minute warning, and when I saw the final score, I'm like, what happened? I think the Bears are fool's gold. I think that game is one of those games you win, but you got dominated. The onside kick, people are asking me what I said. That was an easy onside kick. I don't know how he didn't catch it. It hit him between the 8 and the 7. Caleb makes a couple great throws. But do you believe in the Bears, Greg?
I've actually said this a few times on this show. You never apologize in the NFL for winning, for how you win. Every week, right, that cliche motto, and I'm sure coaches used it 1,000 times. Every coach, right, you're trying to win one game. And you find one way to win. You find a way to win one game and you move on. Like all that cliche stuff that we hear all the time is true. I think over long periods of time, teams that rely on these one-score games. I just called the Washington Commanders game on Saturday before that Green Bay Chicago game. And you look at what they did last year on their way to the NFC Championship. Jaden Daniels was incredible. The season, everything kind of went their way. They went on a Hail Mary against Chicago. They have a crazy one-score games. win at the last second over long periods of time doesn't typically carry over year to year. But for right now, this moment in time, the manner in which Chicago's winning doesn't matter about next year. It doesn't matter about, point differential and all that. So there is a magic in the real moment about what teams that understand they're never out of it. Again, you'd much rather win by 2 or 3 touchdowns handily. But Ben Johnson, man, there's a reason why in the last couple hiring cycles, he's the guy everybody wanted. And the job he's done in Chicago, maybe the closest coach of the year race that we've had in some time. You can make an argument for probably 4 or 5 guys that have done a remarkable turnaround in a very short period of time.
If you're a Lions fan, do you start worrying or looking that the Lions have a bad loss to the Steelers, a couple controversial calls, but you lose Ben Johnson to the Bears, who rise instantly, and then your team, the Lions, starts slipping? Is that something? Is the coaching coordinators, can that make that big of a difference, Coach?
Well, coaching is a big part of it. There's no question. I mean, you look at the NFL right now, 4 of the worst teams in the NFL last year are in first place. You got to give Liam Cohen credit. You got to give Ben Johnson credit. I mean, you got to give Canale credit in Carolina. And hell, Mike Vrabel, first year. I mean, coaching matters. But what really matters is players. And when you watch the ball handed off to Jaylen Warren twice and nobody's there, they're missing both of these safeties. You can't replace Joseph and Brian Branch with 2 guys off the street. I mean, let's be honest. They're decimated again on defense. I would look into what's going on with all the injuries if I was involved with the Lions. That's 2 years in a row. We're missing our best players. The offense isn't really the problem. They can't stop a nosebleed right now.
2 guys who have been in the league, we discussed this one too, DK Metcalf. So DK Metcalf goes and grabs that Lions fan with the hair. We're debating what we think the penalty will be, what it should be. Now, there's 2 people who do not care for the commissioner of the NFL on this panel right now, me and Coach. But if you had to put yourself in his shoes, what would you be the penalty here? Greg, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's a bad look. DK is a guy that I got to see kind of behind the curtain my last year, out in Seattle, and he is a really good guy. He's got a good heart. He's got wears his emotions on his sleeve. But, I got to get to know DK, at kind of a more personal level, as opposed to just like viewing him from the outside. That's a bad moment, right? That's a moment that just cannot happen in the NFL. I'm sure he woke up this morning not feeling great about it. Is probably an understatement. You can't let your emotions, you can't let what people say, the crowd, people are saying crazy stuff. You walk into some stadiums, the things that you hear out of the crowd are incredible, but we get paid a lot of money, right? Some guys, a real lot of money. And the idea is you got to be able to operate in those environments without letting it get to you. I think he gets suspended. I do think there's
For
a
how long?
suspension.
Oh, I think he has to be suspended.
Yeah, I think he's suspended. I think, again, off the top of my head, I don't know if he's had any past run-ins. I know he's had some scuffles on the field with players, but I think it's 1 game. Would I be shocked if it's the rest of the regular season? Obviously, 2 left, the rest of the regular season, and let him play in the playoffs. That wouldn't shock me.
What about you, Coach?
Obviously, there's going to be a thorough investigation to what happened and why this could occur. I don't see many incidents like this. I've seen it happen in NBA games where there's some things in the crowd because they can hear and they're so close to the floor. But this was really uncommon, weird, and disturbing. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a significant fine and a suspension, and I'm sure DK regrets what happened yesterday big time.
I think it's minimum 2. I think they could take him out for 1 playoff game. Again, I'm not morally opposed to it, but I just think they're going to be like, we absolutely cannot have our players in the field engaging with the fans and try to make a big thing for it. Now, this is kind of the Gruden Olsen Bowl. You were at the game, Greg, and I love chirping you. I look for anything. I thought you hit that drum perfectly. I thought the way you hit the drum, some guys go too hard on it, some guys too soft. You had a nice little baseball swing, happy to be there, not the biggest moment of your life type vibe, but a big moment. Can we play it? I was ready to be like, I'm going to get him. I thought you hit this drum pretty much as perfectly as you can hit a drum right here. Like nice, not too much, not too little. Really, really good job hitting the drum. And he got out in time.
Yeah,
Well, he
listen, it wasn't
practiced
about
it for
me.
3 days. He was practicing that for about 3 days before he got there.
We do a lot of fungo with the kids, keeping that right elbow tight. You know what I mean? Yeah, appreciate that. I haven't gotten many compliments over the years, so appreciate that from you.
Good job.
But it wasn't about me. That was a critical moment. So Carolina had just scored a touchdown with like 3 seconds left in the third quarter, and I was banging the drum between the third and the fourth quarter break. And so the crowd was awesome. They had just scored. They had the lead there entering the fourth. That is as good of a crowd as Carolina has had in years. It was cool to just be back and not actually have to call the game and not have to work. I got to just hang out with my boys and enjoy a day. It was a beautiful day. So it was a lot of fun. The crowd was really into it. It was good to see everybody. But again, it was not about me. That was not my moment. I was happy.
Well, that is your moment. It's your moment.
It was, but I didn't need to be like the alternative was you rip your shirt off and like choke. I didn't need that. Didn't need to be the
Will Campbell, which I loved. Coach,
time and a place. There's a time and a place.
Since you started showing up to these Bucs games, they haven't won a game, Coach.
Nah, we beat Arizona when I was there, Dave. I'm 2-1 this year. I don't need to hear any more of your. I had a thought for you though, Dave, this morning before we leave. Phillip Rivers is playing quarterback today. He's 45 years old, 44 years old. I was watching the Chiefs play yesterday without Mahomes, and then their backup got hurt. I think the Chiefs should bring back Mike Livingston to play quarterback these last couple games. I think the Washington Commanders, after Mariota got hurt, Jaden Daniels is out, they should bring in Joe Theismann for the last couple games. And I thought the Jets, after watching Brady Cook again yesterday, let's bring back Boomer Esiason just for the last 2 games. And I really think the Vikings, after your guy went down yesterday, I don't want to see the young kid anymore. Let's bring in Warren Moon for a couple dome games. That way everybody gets a chance to get excited again. Can you believe this, Phillip Rivers tonight? It's awesome.
It's like those old commercials where they have like a Marino walking around with Emmitt Smith at the old person home. It is good to see. Appreciate you guys coming on. We're going to be lined up for an incredible fight. You know what? One question. Eagles, would it shock you if they made a run right now? I know, Greg, you called the game.
It wouldn't shock me at all. And that was kind of our closing conversation as the game got out of whack there in the fourth quarter on Saturday. The defense is playing as well as any defense in the league. They continue to get better and better and better. The issues they had early in the year were some of their ability up front to get after the quarterback. Jalen Phillips, great addition. Nolan Smith back healthy. Like that front, they'll get Jalen Carter back, it looks like, this next week. That defense is as good as any defense in the playoffs obviously plays. And then you just don't give up on talent. Offensive talent, Saquon, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Hurts. Lane Johnson will be back at right tackle. The offense is littered with top-tier players. It hasn't always gone right. They haven't been as good this year overall. But if they get hot, that defense and the talent on the offense, it wouldn't shock me at all.
They're a scary team. Coach, what do you think? Who you got coming out of the NFC?
I still like Seattle. I said it last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about that Seattle Ram game, but don't punt the ball in the middle of the field to Rashid Shaheed. Don't do it. Yeah. That was not a good move by the Rams, but Sam Darnold, I think, is going to get a great amount of confidence after beating the Rams, a team that had his number. I really think Seattle's dangerous.
Well, we got a lot to look forward to. The Eagles make me nervous. I may go Eagles Patriots right now if you had to pick something. I come from a world until the champs are dead, and they're sort of rounding into shape, and all those guys getting healthy, they're dangerous. But thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right. Appreciate it.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Cheers.
There it is, guys. Another excellent football G-Spot. Merry Christmas. We got more Wake Up Barstool on the other side.
I see you.